A man is lying half dead on the side of a road, robbed, beaten, left there. And over the next while, two people walk past him. Two respected, religious, upstanding people.
The kind of people you'd bet money would stop.
And they don't. They cross to the other side. The one who finally helps him is the last person in the world that crowd wanted to be the hero.
And that's the whole point. Jesus built this story so the good guy would be the person his listeners hated most.
Okay, I've heard this one my whole life, and I don't think I've ever heard it like that.
So let's back up, because the setup matters more than people realize. Jesus doesn't just start telling this story out of nowhere. Somebody tees it up.
Who?
A lawyer, an expert in religious law. And he stands up to test Jesus. He asks, "Teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life?"
A test. So he's not really asking, he's probing.
Right, and Jesus does this thing he does. He turns it back. He says, "Well, what's written in the law? How do you read it?"
Puts it back on the expert.
And the guy actually nails it. He says, "Love the Lord your God with everything you've got, all your heart, soul, strength, mind, and love your neighbor as yourself."
That's the right answer.
It's the right answer. And Jesus says, "You've answered correctly. Do this and you'll live."
So it should be over. He passed his own test.
It should be over. But here's the line the whole parable hangs on. Luke tells us the man, wanting to justify himself, asks one more question. And who is my neighbor?
Wanting to justify himself. That's a loaded phrase.
It's everything. He's not asking out of curiosity. He's looking for a boundary. He wants Jesus to define neighbor narrowly enough that he can look at his own life and go, "Yep, I'm covering everyone I'm supposed to."
He wants a list of who's in and who's out.
Exactly. He wants to know the minimum. Who do I actually have to love? And that question, that's what Jesus answers with the story. So Jesus says, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho.
Is the road detail important?
Hugely. That road drops something like 3,000 feet over about 17 miles of twisting, rocky terrain. It was famous for bandits. People called it the Bloody Pass.
So, everyone hearing this knows exactly how dangerous that stretch is.
They know. So when Jesus says the man fell among robbers who stripped him, beat him, and left him half dead, nobody's surprised. That's the road living up to its reputation.
Okay, so he's lying there. Who comes first?
A priest comes down the same road, sees the man, and passes by on the other side.
A priest. That's the top of the religious ladder.
Top of the ladder. And then a Levite, also a temple official, also deeply respected, comes to the spot, sees him, and does the same thing. Crosses over. Keeps walking.
People love to explain that away, right? Like, weren't they avoiding the body for religious reasons? Purity rules.
That's the popular defense. And maybe, but notice Jesus doesn't offer them an excuse. He doesn't say the priest had a good reason. He just shows you two men whose entire lives were supposedly about God, walking past a dying man.
So the audience is sitting there, expecting the third guy to be the hero, and in a setup like this, who would they expect?
Great question. The pattern was familiar. Priest, Levite, and then the third would usually be an ordinary Israelite. A regular Jewish layperson. That's the satisfying ending. The common man does what the religious elite wouldn't.
So, they're braced for the regular guy, shows up the professionals.
That's the ending they wanted. And Jesus refuses to give it to them. Because the third traveler isn't a fellow Israelite. It's a Samaritan.
And I need you to explain how much that word lands, because to us, it's just the name of the parable.
Right, we've defanged it completely. Samaritan to us means a hospital or a helpline. To them, Samaritans and Jews had hated each other for centuries. Different bloodline, different worship, a rival temple on a different mountain. There was real contempt, real history, sometimes violence.
So this isn't a stranger. This is an enemy.
This is the group you were raised to look down on. Put it in modern terms. Think of whatever group you've been taught to distrust the most. That's who Jesus makes the hero.
That would have been genuinely offensive to that crowd.
It would have stung. And then Jesus pours it on. Because the Samaritan doesn't just do the minimum.
What does he do?
He sees the man and is moved with compassion. He goes to him, bandages his wounds, pours on oil and wine to clean and soothe them. Then he puts the man on his own animal, which means the Samaritan is now walking.
He gives up his own ride.
He takes him to an inn and takes care of him through the night. And the next morning, he hands the innkeeper 2 denarii, about 2 days' wages, and says, "Look after him. Whatever more it costs, I'll pay you back when I return."
So he leaves a blank check. For a stranger, from a group that would have despised him, right back.
A total stranger. An open-ended promise. Extravagant, personal, costly care. From the one person nobody in the audience wanted to admire. And now Jesus turns to the lawyer. The man who started all this by asking, "Who is my neighbor?"
The guy looking for the boundary line.
And Jesus asks him a question back, but watch how he changes it. He doesn't answer, "Who is your neighbor?" He asks, "Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell among the robbers?"
Wait, that's a completely different question.
It's a total flip. The lawyer asked, "Who qualifies as my neighbor?" Meaning, who do I have to love? Jesus asks, "Which of these acted like a neighbor?"
So he moves it from who deserves my love to who behaved with love.
From a category to an action. From who's on my list to what did you do?
And how does the lawyer answer?
Here's the tell. He can't even say the word Samaritan. He just says, "The one who showed him mercy."
He dodges the name.
Even now, cornered by the truth, the label sticks in his throat. And Jesus just says 4 words, "Go and do likewise."
Go and do likewise. Not go and figure out who your neighbor is. Go be one.
That's it. The question the man came in with, "Who do I have to love?" Jesus never actually answers. He dismantles it.
Okay, so this is where I want to sit for a second. Because the version I grew up with is basically, be nice to people, help strangers. And that's fine. But you're saying that's not really it.
It's not wrong, it's just small. Be nice to strangers lets you keep your list. You can be kind to the people you already find easy to be kind to and feel like you've obeyed.
And the parable won't let you do that.
It won't, because of who Jesus cast in the roles. Think about what he did. He took the people the audience respected, the religious insiders, and had them fail. And he took the person the audience despised and made him the one who looked like God's love in action.
So, to really hear it, you almost have to recast it.
You do. If you want to feel what that first crowd felt, you don't picture a kind stranger. You picture the group you've been taught to write off, politically, ethnically, whatever it is for you, and you put them in the hero's seat. And you put yourself, with all your credentials, potentially in the seat of the one who walked past.
That's really uncomfortable.
It's meant to be. The lawyer wanted a definition that would let him draw a circle and stand safely inside it. And Jesus erased the circle. He's saying your neighbor isn't a category you sort people into. It's something you choose to become, for anyone in front of you who's in need, even your enemy.
So, who is my neighbor was the wrong question the whole time.
The wrong question the whole time. The right question was never who qualifies for my love. It's will I be the kind of person who loves like that? And notice, the one who got it right in the story wasn't the one with the theology degree. It was the one who stopped. So next time somebody says, Good Samaritan, and just means nice person, you'll know there's a blade hidden in that story that's still sharp 2,000 years later.
Here's my question for you watching. Who's the Samaritan in your life? The person, or the group, you'd least want to admit did the right thing. Tell us in the comments. We read them.
And if you want more stories opened up like this is what we do here. We'll see you in the next one.